Okay, would you just say your name again for me?
My name is John DiMenna.
And I'm David DiMenna, and I'm just talking to my grandpa to get some stories from his life. Do you want to just start? How was it growing up in Italy?
Well,
What comes to mind?
I born at this little town, the name of Bucchianico. And the town give a lot of things because of panoramic. And beside, all of the residents are just like one family. And what I can say, since that little kid, I was so active in town. I've been the altar boy and the Santuario San Camilo. And I went to the school and I went to high, but I finished at the 5th grade. But with the experience, work in a barber shop.
How did you get started working as a barber? Like, how did you learn your trade?
Yes. And after the 5th grade, I tried so many things for learn, but nothing was things I was like. One day I went to get a haircut, and the barber said, "What are you doing?" I see you going all the time around. I said, "Oh, I want to learn a tailor. I want to learn something else." Finally said, "Why don't you learn a barber?" Bucchianico has only 3 barber shop, and they're not enough, and nobody wants to learn a barber. I went at this barber shop. He teach me how they shave first. After they start to get a haircut, and after 6 months, everybody used to come in the barber shop was asking for me, not for the one who was teaching me. And I was about 12 years when I started. And when they come with the war, we went out of town because the Germans let evacuate us. And I was in Katy. And in Katy, I had the job at one of the smaller barber shop. I learned a lot more. When we went back in town, I started to work from the room at my house. My father had the one room right in the square of the town, and with the end of my mother and my aunts, we put on a barber shop. And I started to work. I was a worker from morning and night, every day, including Sunday. And I did the test for 7 years.
How old would you say were you when you opened the shop with your
17 years old I was. And after I opened the barber shop, my father came back from Germany because it was war time. I will be telling you why my father was in Germany. And my father came back and said, "You know, in Bucchianico, they don't have no beautician. You are so active at the barbering. Why don't you learn a beautician this way? You know, you can help your sister make the dress for the weddings, and you can fix the hair for the bride." And I went in Katy, that's the city nearby, big at the Bucchianico, and I learned the beautician right one of the best beauty shop was in Katy. I went back in town because I was a good barber and I had no chance to do the beautician. But all the time my sister was making a dress for the wedding for the bride. They wanted I go fix her up for the hair. That's the most what I did the beautician. Well, everybody, the friends was calling me, some of they had a dye, some of just a cut. My most, I was practically just a barbering. And I did the test for 7 years. And after the 7 years, I immigrated to the United States. When I came in the United States, I was going to work as just a beautician. But they told me I was supposed to have so many months at the school. They have the diploma from the high school. I said, no, I don't have this stuff. I can do the work. There was one big, best barber shop in town, the name Martin Barber Shop.
What was that in Binghamton?
Binghamton.
Okay.
It was the best one with 6 barbers. When I got the job there, I was the 7th. And in short time, I finished on a 30 chair and a place to be right at the end. Yeah, I worked 7 years there. And for 7 years, at this point, we had the union. And the one who was collected the union was an old man in the press building, was the shop right in the middle of the town. And they said, John, why don't you come over there, because I want to retire. I'll give you the shop. I said, I don't know, I'm doing good here. Well, I went to check, I went to see, and I got to the shop. He gave me the shop. And the shop was right at the tallest building in town. It was on the 3rd floor. And they had already established the business because the barber shop was there since 1905. And when I went there, it was 1960. And I worked there for 7 years. After 7 years, there was one firm, the lawyers, Chardin and Gold, built the building for the firm of the lawyers. And they wanted me to go with them. And I said, I don't go there. No, you come over there. If I tell you the truth, I fix it up for the barber shop. I just bought the mirrors and the sinks, and the rest was just fixed it up by the firm of Chardin and Gold. I was worried and also do the good. As soon as I started there, I did the good. I was to work all the time alone. And I was so worried because it was a new building and the best place. I had to do the business for the land. Well, these lawyers was such noble people. They said, we take care of you. And they started, they pay the rent $80 a month. And after the 46 years out of today, I still pay $80 a month. And now we got to go back. When I was a young kid, what I did. First, when I was really young, I was an altar boy. And I used to like, everybody was a thing I was going to be priest, man. I had no intention. But some of my friends, the same one was on the same time altar boys, become priests. And now, when I was in Buchanan, we don't had no movies. But we went in Katy once in a while see the movies. One time, my father and some friend had in mind that they opened one movies in Buchanan. And I was a worker there. I used to go buy the movies in Pescara, what city where they had the distribution for the movies, rent. But we can operate the machine because we were supposed to have a license. But we had somebody had the license from Bicchetti, used to come operate the project, and we did pretty good for a few years. My effort was so many things. My sister was selling the tickets and a booth for the movies. My father was clean up for the movies. I used to help for the operator for the movies. With the time, my father had the things partnered with somebody else. He let go, the other guy got the movies. Now, for have some entertainment or something for enjoy life, we used to go to the beach. It was about 30 kilometers far away.
Where would that, like Francavilla?
Francavilla, see. About 18 miles. Believe it or not, I used to walk, or sometimes get a bicycle go there.
Jeez.
And we used to go.
Be easier going there than it would be coming back, huh? Downhill all the way.
Yeah, it was up and down. We had the way to do very short through the farmers without going all the way. And that's now. I mentioned before the water time. The water time, we was 4 kids of my family, and my father and my mother. My father, because I had the 4 kids, was supposed to be out to the army, was supposed to be volunteer, the work for something help for the war. And he found out that there was a place to work in Germany, and you went in Germany, and you also work in a factory. It was really great because you used to send the money, and that's the way we live it. Because a little I was a maker went, I was a worker barber too. And at the house where we used to live, at one of the biggest houses in town, and can go back about what I know, more than 500 years. And this house was owned by some lawyer. And this one was the name. Well, whatever, no make much importance, the name of the Donofrio. And this Donofrio was related to San Camillo, the center born in Bucanico. And after San Camillo became priest, he used to go back in Bucanico, the priest used to stay at his house, he used to live with the cousin, he stayed at the house where I grew up. And even today, the house belonged to the family, belonged just to my sister. And at the entrance of the house, they have 2 affresco. One of the affresco de San Camillo, another one of the coat d'armes of the family of San Camillo. And I feel better. I don't live there. That's just some nostalgic thing. But I'm glad I'm here in the United States. Okay, now what else?
Do you mind telling me a little bit about your parents? Like, your dad.
Okay. My grandpa, materno, remember, I see part of his life. He had the bakery, he had the wine cellar. That's the way he was going to live, make a bread and sell the wine. And at one point, in 1920, he got in politics. He became assistant mayor.
Of Bucanico?
In Bucari. And he was the one brought the water, because they don't had no water from the faucet. They used to have it to the cistern, to the thing. And he was criticized one time. Because the water then was cold, because sometimes the water from the faucet come from Mayal. The other town had the real cold water. But for some reason, the water came in Buchanan was a little warm. And he was criticized. And my mother used to tell me that one day they have before the land, Mardi Gras. Everybody dressed up, everybody go crazy. And you was the assistant mayor, and you want to give it back to the people who was criticized. He made like 1 month the dirt come out of the water. And at the same time there was some man inside to the mache thing, mache.
Like a big paper mache,
Paper mache, like a lady. He was inside a dance. And my grandpa had the whip. I used to whip this lady, and the lady was dance, and he was to say, I'm not afraid of nobody. I'm not afraid of the mayor. He was assistant mayor. I'm not afraid of the marshal. I'm not afraid of the anything. Even the people criticize, they know it was my fault because the water had warm. And the marshal was right at the square of the town. He approached my grandfather. That's the way my mother used to tell me. They said, Mr. Sulpizio, why you know worried that nobody? I tell you the truth. I don't have to worry that nobody because I did nothing wrong. And that was, but they tell my grandpa. The grandpa on the paternal side.
Just what was his name?
Giovanni Sulpizio.
And that's your mother's father.
Yeah, and the grandpa on my paternal side was the name Giovanni too. He died in 1905 when my father born. And my father never met the father. And my grandmother had the 3 kids. Had my father and 2 sisters of my father. And my grandmother, for support of the family because she lost the husband, was to sell the linen stuff. Like in Bukhari, a lot of people used to make the linen with the all by hand, like a sheet for the bed, table cloth, all of this thing. And my grandmother used to get this stuff and go all over the towns and look for the family had the young girl. And they used to buy the linen stuff for the dowry.
Oh, okay.
And at the time she was a driver, had no cars. She used to walk and bring the stuff, what she was to sell, and that's the way they made a living. Now, my father at the trade that just like me from the when he was a kid, learned the shoemaker. And when he was 20 years old, he had already the shoe shop repair. He used to make a brand new shoes too. He was specialized make ski boots, boots for the kids at the polio get the brace. And he was 20 years old. That's when he married my mother. It was in 1925.
Do you want to take a quick break? Just grab a sip of water or something?
I born in 1926, September 29. That's enough for my parents, grandparents.
Sure. What was? Do you remember the names of your dad's sisters?
Yeah. And my father Oscar and the two sisters was one Ines and other one Asunta. And my grandmother, the name was Maria, and last the name was I got that.
Sure.
Last name Maria was De Leonardis, D-E-L-E-O-N-A-R Leonard D-I-S.
And that was your grandmother?
Grandmother maternal. Grandmother, no, grandmother paternal.
Right.
Grandmother maternal was Gioconda. Now, like I said before, we was 4 kids, was 2 brothers and 2 sisters. Like already I mentioned my name, John. I had the brother Camillo. Camillo died when he was already 20 in an automobile accident.
Was he older or younger than you?
I was the oldest one.
Okay.
And Gioconda, my sister's second one, born 1928. Mary, born 1930. And Camille, 1932. Now, Camille became a barber too. He had a girlfriend. When he died, he was supposed to come over here. He had all of the paper made because we was a thing to be all together here, barbering. And because he had the girlfriend, the things was already the come. He said, "Wait, I want to get married this way. I can come with the one I married, the 2 with me." At this time, they never got married because he had an accident, he died. Okay, now, we still talk about the family.
Do you want to talk about his accident?
What? Oh, the accident? Okay. Was May 1st. If I remember exact, was in 1954 or 55. May 1st, in Italy, had the national holiday, or Labor Day. Everybody go to picnic because I could the weather. And he went with the friends to the mountain called Bayella, not too far from down town. And they was have a good time. One of the friends come by in the car, and they say, I go to Pretor, was the nearest little town at this amount. He said, we go get a coffee. And my brother, and other two people jump on the car and went to get this guy was going to Pretor. When the got on one of the curve that was on the mountain, made the curve went straight. And the car smashed up, the 4 people inside. The 2 on the front, they don't even got a scratch. And the 2 on the back died. It was my brother and a friend, the name Neil. And that was the accident. He never came to the United States. My father closed the barber shop, and because the barber shop was on the square of the town, and nearby was the house where we grew up. No matter where you go, was supposed to go on the front of the barber shop. Now, since my brother died, they don't want to get out from the house. If they don't see the barber shop, if they don't have such a bad memory. And we find out that this, me and my sister, we was here in the United States. We said, why we don't let them come over here this way? They have to make a living.
So that was one of the reasons that you decided to come to the United States?
And we went to the American Civic Association, where they was making the paper for the immigration. And we let them come, my father and my mother. We thought it was going just a visiting. But they came over here, and we let them stay. And they didn't want to go back either. Left everything what there was belonged to them. They came over here. My father was a shoemaker. We opened the shoe shop repair. And for quite a few years, he was work. And the time he was working, he bought his own house. He was making a living with my mother. And he was 69 years old. He got some malady at the cancer, and he died. After my mother had the stroke, she died too. Both died in Carpendale, Pennsylvania. And they are buried there. And what else I should say?
Just I guess to clean up the family stuff. Was your dad a shoemaker? Like you said, he was a shoemaker here. Is that what did he do that in Italy as well?
Yeah, he was shoemaker in Italy, and like I mentioned before, he was specialized making boots for the ski.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you made ski boots.
I used to make. There was a lot of kids that get polio. Everybody was in need of the special shoes with the brace. Mm-hmm. And they used to come from out of town in Italy to do these things. When they come over here, it was just a repair. And I opened the shop for my father because there was one shoemaker in Garbadella died, and the wife was going to sell the equipment. And we went there, me and my brother-in-law, and we asked how much you want. They asked too much money. He said, no, I can't do this. I can't afford. Because they was pay rent where they had the equipment. One day, the wife of the shoemaker called my brother-in-law and said, if you want all of the equipment, I sell to you for $1,000. I paid $1,000 after running business, my father there. He was independent, like I said. Was make a living, he bought the own house. And when he bought the house, he died. My sister was living in Carpendale. She was doing more than what I did for my father and my mother. And the house we was supposed to split to be and my sister. I said, no, you take the house, you did more than me. She got the house. She had already the own house. I give my part to my sister, what was the house of my father. Now, talk about to give away the house. The house in Italy was supposed to divide to me, my sister here in the United States, and the sister still live in Italy.
So, and the sister that was here is Mary, and the sister
Mary,
that was
and the one in Italy,
Italy,
Giaconda. Now, we said, we split in three. She had to send us the money. They know what much the house we was to take. After we find out that the house had one of the big value, we renounce all our fortune and we give all of my sister, because she still live there. It's part of the family, but I can tell you more than my family.
Well, let's switch gears a little bit. What did you about? How was it when you like? Tell me more about the process of coming to the United States. So like you had to like starting with like you had to apply to get papers and that kind of thing. Or?
I had a girlfriend in Italy.
What was her name?
The name of Bianca. And because of my father, and the father of Bianca was two shoemakers. And there was a little jealousy. At one point, I said to my father, I want to buy the ring, to get engaged with her. And my father said, you do whatever you want to do. I never go because I don't like the father. I said, what kind of family we start? I tell her, I said, Bianca, we got to fix it up our fathers. We make a believe we split. Your father like me, and my father like you. And when they see we know it together, they want to know the reason, and maybe they get, we can get all together the family. Well, we split just for show. And the time we was there, she used to, like all of the young boys and girls had the girlfriend, the boyfriend. Every Sunday they used to walk the boyfriend, a girlfriend at this place was a lot of couples. I can't go because we made this deal. She was walking with somebody else. I got jealous. I said, you're done. And that's why we never got it together with Bianca. And then was anything. She was a little feel bad. I was a feel thing because I wasn't like what she was doing like this. Well, my sister came here in the United States. And the husband had the niece.
When did she come?
She came in 1950.
Okay.
And my sister had, through the husband, niece. And the niece was the name Filomena. And this niece was a work of photographer business. And she was the manager for the develop the pictures. And all the places they used to go, they used to take pictures. And they used to send the pictures to us. Because Mary and Phyllis, they used to go all the time together. Well, they gave so many pictures home. And I see this beautiful girl. And I said, my sister, who's she? I said, that's the niece of the Sam. I started asking questions. Was the sound all good? I wrote a letter to her. Just, friendly. Nothing, no proportion, nothing. She answered me back. Must be my sister told all about me. And we started to write one letter a month. came at the time, every day used to come a letter, every day I used to answer to her. After the 2 years, I told Felice, I said, well, both we fall in love, both we like each other one. You have to come here in Italy, I want to meet you. I know you just through the pictures, through what you wrote. No, she answered me, said, oh, you come here in the United States. And we had about mounted the letters back and forth. And I said, I don't know if I can come. I went to the agency for see if I can emigrate, come here to the United States a bit of Feliz. He said, you have no problem, you have a business, your family own the house, you can go like a tourist in the United States. I said, what I have to do? Just to make a passport, come over here, buy the ticket, and go. And that's what I did, I came over here. And I brought with me one suitcase full of the letters.
So they told you that you could just go, like, say you were taking a vacation and then just stay?
They said, no mention you go get married because they don't let you go. You tell...
Who was telling you all this?
The agent selling the ticket for the...
Travel agent in Italy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got the passport. I bought the tickets, and I came over here. I was supposed to come over here. Everybody was to know because my sister was expected to have a baby and be the godfather of the baby. And that was the excuse. But I came here for meet Phyllis and maybe get married.
And what year was this?
It's 1952, November 52. Now, when I got to New York, they see I was young and tourist. They wanted $500 for the bonds. The reason I can go back to Italy than when I stay here. Because, you know, they was to figure out why this guy come over here.
Oh, so they wanted you to give them $500 and then they'd give it back to you when you went back to Italy?
Yes, my brother-in-law, it was a bond, you know.
Who was this? Like who was telling you
The
that?
government was,
Okay.
you know, the immigration thing. My brother-in-law figured out to give it a $500 bond, and they give it back. Now, I came the day before Thanksgiving Day, and everything was closed, and you can get the bond for releasing me. And he came on the Monday after the Thanksgiving Day. I Ellis Island. The day I arrived was the day before Thanksgiving Day. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday I come out.
What was that like?
Well, it was good. I had the turkey celebrate the Thanksgiving Day right at Ellis Island. And one thing I feel bad, on the Sunday, they came with the priest, said a mass. And all of the one was like me, the immigrant, was on one side. And on the other side was, all the people was in jail, was prisoners with the striped suit. Yeah, I was feel so bad, sick. I come over here, I stay with the prisoners, criminals, you know, it's all right. One thing on the point when I was at Ellis Island, I used to smoke. I bought several packets of cigarettes on a boat because it was cheap. I was in a suitcase. When I was there after one day, the suitcase was in a baggage room. I can get there. I had no cigarette. The congestion was closed for the holiday, You know, when you smoke, you think you look for
Sure,
cigarette.
yeah.
There was one Chinese smoke like a chimney. Approach him, I don't know how I communicate. He was speak Italian and was speak Chinese. But we understood that I was looking for cigarette. He gave me packet of cigarette. And we give me packet of cigarette. I was a fellow thinkers. I wouldn't recognize it there. He wasn't in the haircut. He had the little suitcase or thinkers get the tools. I give the haircut. Now when there was a give the haircut, there was other Chinese, must be they communicate each other one. Everybody got a pack of cigarette in hand. Wait, I think I got 6 or 7 haircut. That was one thing I like to tell because it's a funny, it's a
good story.
nice story. Another story, the days I was in Ellis Island, I had the telephone, the Phyllis name, you know, the numbers. And there was a phone, you put on a nickel, tell us, return, you know, on what's page, just put on a nickel, give the number, say, the one who received the call pay. And somebody was answer from the house of my mother-in-law. And I think I made about 24 calls for my mother-in-law had to pick a bill. And when I come over here, my sister said, why you call so many times? He said, no, it's costing me nothing, for a nickel, and they come back. That's another funny story.
So you're calling them collect?
Collect, yeah. Now, that's the way, when they come over here, we made a deal. I said, everything what I said, it's all honest. I think you know me the way you see me now. And if I say everything you told me, the thing we can get married. And I came in November. Already we was now for 2 years writing, we never meet each other one. And we talk about they get married. I had the idea to get married. I brought the wedding ring, the bracelet, some other thing, the gold, to give it to her. And we went to the priest. I had the paper for sure I was single, you know. All of we got married. But because I was a tourist, I can't stay here more than 6 months. In March, I went back to Italy to make a festa to come back here because she was an American-born citizen. He was married to me, and she could call me and come up without any problem. Well, it took a little time. I went back in March, I come back here in September. And after I come back over here, you would have thought, hey, I'll be still here.
Did you speak any English at all when you came over here?
Just a few words. Thank you. Some of the things. I tell you what I think is funny. It took, when I went back, they asked me, you learn any English? I said, no, what okay. For 3 months I've been there, I can't learn anything. Any words? The guy used to translate my letters because Felice used to write in English. And I used to answer in Italian. And the guy asked me, he said, you learned a few words. I said, yeah, I learned the practice word. And one of the words I told him said, buckhouse. He said, what is a buckhouse? I said, well, a lot of people, they don't have a toilet inside. They have on the back of the house. That's what I said, the buckhouse. And you look on a dictionary, you think you can find anything. What the buckhouse was a word. Just like another word was big shot.
Big shot?
And he said, he was not English, he used to translate the letters. And you see big shot, he can find big shot what the meaning was, and the teacher had big shot, you know what was mean? Big fish. And my big shot, the way we said out, it are somebody important, you know. And that's the thing is the words. And I don't have no problem for the language because the church I used to go was Italian. The barber shop I started to work was all Italians. The family was speak Italian.
Did Grandma speak Italian?
Oh yeah, very good.
Oh, okay.
But the Italian of the Phillies was a dialect, was like anybody can understand, but it was perfect Italian. She perfected a little bit with the bikes, my sister and me. And another thing I mentioned before, the letters I used to write. And when I had the kids, Carla, they said, where are the letters you used to write? I said, you want to know the letter, what happened? Tatone was the father of my wife, for grandpa in dialect, for Tatone called, for grandpa called Tatone, you know, big father, you know. And at the coronation downstairs, got a call. We put on all of the letters there, we put up for the letters. Carly, even today, and a man, because she was going to read what the letter, we used to write each other what. And I think I say how I came.
How old were you when you came?
27 years. I born 1926. I came here 1952 the first time, 53 when I came for good. And I was almost 27 years.
And when you came here, Aunt Mary and Grandma everyone was in Carbondale?
No,
Or
no. Everybody was here in Binghamton.
Binghamton, okay.
My brother-in-law and my sister, they moved to Carbondale.
Okay.
You want to know the right thing? I don't know if I right there. I say anyway. Sam, the husband of the Mary, was a divorce. And because they had two kids here, and the former wife, they was worried they give some problem. They moved to Carbondale.
Okay.
That's why they went in Carbondale. And he never was coming back here. I think because there was going to be some problem. And they stayed in Carbondale, and that's where they met the family. And had Bernadette, Angelo, David, and until when they died, you know. And that's why there is a Carbondale. Me, I came here in Binghamton, I stay all the time in Binghamton. And my father and my mother, when they came to the United States, went to Carbondale because Mary wants my father and my mother stay there. And I used to go visiting my father and my mother every Sunday. I used to put on the car, Johnny and Carla. No matter what the weather, they could go there, have a dinner, and come back. Most every Sunday. Some Sunday it was the snow or the big fog we used to go. My father, finally you come. I was miss one Sunday. He was miss sometime I don't go, you know. And all the time we used to go there. Used to make a big dinner, big bottle of wine, and so on. And all the time I used to go there, you know, you really used to work. That's important to all the tell you put out, because it's part of the history of the family. I used to give something, no much, $20, $30, $5. Every Sunday I used to go on my mother. And my mother used to say, oh, that's good. I said, I work from morning and night on a shoe shop. What did, gotta pay the supplies for the soul. Yeah, my work still. What do you do with the money? Oh, I gotta pay the mortgage, the things that. Was $3,000 when they bought the house. And I can't believe something was not right. When my father died, I went to the shoe shop. And I opened one drawer. They had it there someplace. It was a lot of letters from Joconda. Joconda was a thanks, every letter. Thank you for sending this. We paid the bus for go to school, for Nicolito, for the other what. And he used to send the money, he used to make all of my sisters Italy. There was a thing, you know, they was going to start. My sister wasn't anybody because had the husband here in the United States. He was good. He had the girlfriend here, and he never said much about he used to say something, but not much of what the real wasn't in. My father used to support, was to feel better. They left at Italy, and she was alone, and no husband, with the 4 kids, you know. But the kids that all good. My sister Joko, one become a doctor, one engineer, and both the girls school teachers. And
Yeah, so you came over here for good in 1953. When did your parents decide to come over? After that?
I think it was maybe 55 or 56.
Okay. Yeah, it was just because there's good
Because-
opportunity and to be close to you.
No, my father came
Yeah.
because it was the disaster. My brother died,
Oh, okay.
and I came because I found a good girl to get married.
Did your parents ever learn to speak English while they were here?
No, no even words. My father have a business. The customer used to go there, like put under the sole or the heels or the shoes. And can you just say $2, $5? He used to write fine and give it to the. That's how much you gotta give it to me. You know.
You,
But it got but there. The place where he used to live, the friends, the customers, most all Italian. You know, I had no problem. The church was Italian, and yeah, they did good. They had one club was all Calabrese, and he was Abruzzese. They used to go there, play cards, drink wine. I think they enjoyed to stay here. Okay, now so far you want to look at there, some of the things maybe.
yeah, we're getting to the end of the tape.
film.
There's like 7 minutes or so left. Is there anything that you wanted to, like, anything you thought about with any of the other stuff, like that you wanted to add to something else, or like?
You tell me what you like or not. Like you said, talk to your family, come over here.
What about any memories from like when you were a kid in Boot County, Call? Like anything that stands out? Like you went to some festival sometime, or?
Great. Bucchiarico are great for the festivity. Most festivity the church. They have one big feast at the middle of the July, at a feast for St. Gabriel, because St. Gabriel are a patron of the town, born in Bucarico. And this feast started the 14th of July. That's when the Saccavilla died. The feast consists of 2-3 bands, march and night and evening, perform operas. And most of the time that this feast, if you ever relate or you have friends, they come visiting for the feast, and they stay with you in a house, big dinners, you know, I think it's a feast. They have another feast in May, last 1 week, at a feast of the Sant'Urbano. And the feast of Sant'Urbano consists of something they show what they happened at the first time. The first time, there was the towns litigated for politics, get the territory, do all of these things. Now, Chieti was the biggest town, and Bucarico, smaller one. The head of the police of the town was about 7 or 8 police. Dream in the night, Chieti was going to come occupy Bucarico. Dream. The dream was from Sant'Urbano. Sant'Urbano told to the head of the police, tomorrow, Chieti come. You don't have to do nothing. Get your soldier, you know, you guards, get the standards, the drum, and the piper, and go to run the walls, and no stop. When the Chieti troops come for conquista Bucarico, see all of this things go around the road, they think there are 1,000 people. They get scared and they turn back. As soon as this, it's one victory Bucarico against the Chieti, the Teatina, the time is the call. And every year they make the festivity, they react the story of this. And now this, besides they make the parade, bands, fireworks, they have one chairman for the feast, and they call it Sergeantier. And it represents the head of the police was originated. Okay. What did they do? Done.
Oh, no, you get like 2 minutes or so.
Yeah, this Sergeant get the people part of the 7th generation. They march, they do a lot of things. I can show you the pictures too. Are real characteristic, colorful, and all the town eat all together to where they call the Banderes Hall, are right on the city hall. And everybody can go there, eat, drink.
But you look forward to those feasts
Yeah,
each year.
that's how big it is. And the chairman, they get some head of the each part of the town, you know. Every year they pull the name and the one are responsible, they do the feast. What do? They raise one like a cow bill, you know, and they kill for the meat. And after they buy other stuff, all the town can go there, eat and drink. Nobody have to pay that thing for almost a week.
Oh, that's nice.
They dance, they do, that's not a feast. Over there you meet all the relate, all of the people going from all over, not just from the town. The town are about 7,000 people. At this feast, swallow about 25,000.
Yes. Well, thank you, Grandpa.
But I think got lots more.
Oh no, yeah, we have plenty more, but
No, I say, got lots more. Some of the time you come. You keep it there.
Mhm.
And
Well, no, I think this is a good start.